In this wild ride, we're here to say we're living the imperfect way.
So we should preface. It's a cold.
Oh, yeah, I have a cold. You could thank my loving husband for giving it to me. So if I sound like I hate the world, I don't. It's just my voice.
We talk about something really positive, and it's like,
Oh my God, I'm so excited. See? I'm so stoked. This is a point where we should turn on a video camera so people know I'm not a bitch.
she's very sarcastic about the world. What is freaking up? My name is Eve,
My name is Sarah.
and we are Burnt Out Perfectionists. How has your past couple weeks been?
Oh, there's been a lot of hockey in my life. The team that my kid's on won gold, which was super cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just making my way through life.
I feel like the past week I have felt a lot better than like the weeks prior. I don't know. My TomTom has had a mind of its own,
Oh, yeah.
which is, great. But I have been just ripping through cleaning up stuff.
Nice.
I do need to flip over the laundry because I did some laundry this morning because I realized I'm on my last pair of underpants. I've been watching a lot of like how to get off your phone, which I understand the irony of watching a video about how to not be on like your technology all the time.
I love those videos. Like,
I know, but it's
here's
so
all the
funny.
ways are like, even the algorithm gave me that video for some YouTuber I've never watched before that came up, and it was like, the phone really does suck your time away, and how she like swapped to a flip phone. So if there was a flip phone that I could like flip back and forth on, flip back and forth with the front one, with an eSIM that wasn't like a smart flip phone, I'd probably do it for like when I'm like going to things where I don't need to be on my phone. And I still want to be like accessible to people. Like if like you guys need something or I'm out without my husband and my kid.
I have a wee bit of a bone to pick with Apple.
Oh my God, welcome to our lives. We love your products, but they also piss us the fuck off.
Well, it's not that I'm annoyed with your products. I'm annoyed with the lack of like just
Accessibility.
letting us know. So I was so excited for the Creator Studio.
Yep.
Because I do digital art stuff. And I was like, oh, there's a new one. I wonder if this will be better. I go on to my iPad. So you can laugh at me. I have two iPads. I have my e-reader iPad and I have my like regular iPad.
Yeah.
Go on my regular iPad. It's just an iPad. And because I had to swap it out with our brother just with like technology and his broke. And I was like, oh, okay. So I open it and I'm like, oh, this is so great. Not able to connect. Not able to download. And I was like, what?
This is like when we got so excited about the journal app and then you could like not use it on anything except for wasn't it your phone? It was just your phone.
It was your phone and then it was your Mac. And then finally with this last one, it was like, you can do it on your
iPad. Which I was like, why wasn't that the first option? But yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, well, whatever. I'll try it on the mini, like if I need to. Also doesn't work. You can only have like after the certain date of iPad Pros and iPad Airs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's rude because it was not said, oh, well, you can do a mixture of this. You can't even download the app.
No.
And I'm like, oh, well, that was rude.
I know I downloaded it because you get a month free right now. This is not sponsored by Apple, but Apple, if you hear us and would like to sponsor us, please go right ahead. I got the Creator Studio, so in Canada it's $18 a month because it's like an upgrade to like the free stuff that we use right now. Also, we figured that it would have a lot of the features that the Adobe Cloud Suite has, and we could just kind of like counter and upgrade things while just maybe having 2 subscriptions instead of like Canva, Adobe, and using like our regular Apple stuff.
Yeah, like I hate subscriptions in general because it's always just like, oh,
it's like another $50 or another $20
or they send you an email and it goes to your spam and it's like, we're not changing the price and it's triple the price and you're like,
what the fuck?
Granted, I know I should be checking all of my emails, but like sometimes there's like 47 spam emails. I wish that I could download like Gmail twice.
Yeah.
So I could have like one for the burnt out stuff and then one for like my personal stuff. Because sometimes I'm like, I get so many emails that I don't know what it's from. On this week's episode, we thought we'd chat about hobbies, hyperfixations, and the stuff we forgot we loved. Specifically from when we were a child.
Back in history.
Obviously, like, Sarah grew up in the 90s.
Because I was born in 86, so I was, like, 4. Like, I don't really remember much before then. But, like, I was always fascinated with stars and stuff. Even, like, when I was a kid, I always wanted to have, like, a telescope, and I always wanted to have, like, all those things. I remember when I think it was the iPad 2, they had this app that was built in, so you could hold it up with the camera on, and it would map out the stars.
I remember that.
And I was talking to my kid about that. She's like, I wonder if they still have that. I'm like, it was so cool because, like, yeah, you can look up and kind of see things, but when you're a kid, like, it's so hard to, like, sometimes visualize those things or, like, understand the concept of how, like, close together it'd be or how far apart. And when I had that, I mean, like, I was, like, 20 something when that iPad came out, but I was like, I remember holding it up and it, like, mapped it all out. I'm like, that's so cool.
Like, I feel like stargazing people don't really do much. Like, put me in the back of a pickup truck, I will stare at the sky.
They do that at a local park where they have, like, sky hazing and, like, you can do it. It's like a little, like, club thing.
Oh, but I will never understand. Like, I remember growing up and being like, if we went anywhere, like, I was always fascinated by architecture and I like buildings and like the different things. Like, there is a favorite house that I've always had. Every single time I visit it, I just am like, oh, it's like, I'm like, it's so pretty. It used to be like pastel green and pink.
Yeah.
And then someone else bought it and painted the whole thing white.
Of course they did.
And I was so sad. I think it's so cool. And like, even bigger cities like old, like Brooklyn, New York, I just thought it was so cool. Somewhere you go. Like, I traveled quite a bit all through BC. And like, there is like niche towns that are very nice, that are really pretty and stuff.
Yeah.
I find that BC is quite well known as like the hike province.
Province.
I do not hike. I do not. I will happily, I don't call it hiking. I call it like uphill walking.
I don't mind going for, like, I call it a nature walk. I don't mind going for a nature walk, but don't you fucking look at me and tell me it's just like a casual nature walk. And then I'm going up like 40 flights of stairs and then going down another one, like scraping down the side of a fucking thing where like barely my feet fit side by side. That is not a nature walk.
I'm happy to like walk through nature. I like to like, I don't mind if it's like a little bit of stairs. My line is when my back is on a rock and there is no other side.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. I don't need to risk my life to go for a fucking walk to feel like I'm alive. Like,
I know. I feel like Hobbies when I was a kid was like, you get a craft kit at the store
yeah.
and it's like, design your own journal or like design your own bracelet.
There's those types of hobbies. I remember my friend Crystal and I growing up, we always wanted to be like detectives. So, you know, when you just like make like scenarios up in your head, like now I feel like somebody would have called the cops on us, but we would write, oh, that man who lives at the end of the street, I wonder what he's doing, like type of thing. Like every day he comes out at the same time. And we would like make posters and try to like find things that we thought like they were like low things. Like if something went missing, which I swear her mom did this on purpose, but like something go missing. So we would like make a whole investigation about what was going on. And then we had our little kits and we would just like dust for fingerprints and do all the things and like hide in the closets to see if anybody was saying anything. And we like had like so much fun doing that. It was probably because we used to watch those like Mary-Kate and Ashley movies where they had these like detective things. It was like myself and Crystal or myself and like Alicia, we would do that like on purpose to like, we'd be like, oh my goodness, like nobody else knows what's going on right now. Like we're full on fucking detectives. Like I remember trying to find a hat and a fucking coat, but I got a magnifying glass. I was like, I'm fucking legit now. Like I love stuff like that. Or even just like making up stories. Like I feel like a lot of kids only make up stories when they're told to do it at school.
I had this like write your own story kit.
Oh, yeah.
Or write your own fairy tale. It was the best. I remember like I spent hours, but I don't even think I have it on anymore. I spent like hours on hours. It was about this was back when like there wasn't even like the Princess Switch or something like that. It was like, you're a secret princess, but you didn't know. Oh my God, like Sophia the First. Like, I committed so hard. There was like decor. I made my own stickers.
Right?
And like, I was obsessed with like, I loved making my own stories because I was like, this is so cool. Like, I'm going to name them this, this, this. And now, like, I've talked about it before. I read like a lot of books. And when I read them, there's nothing that hits the same as like when you first read Percy Jackson or you first read like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It wasn't you're reading Harry Potter or you're reading this and watching a show. It was like, this is an entire world that you're entering that someone like purposely designed. Granted, like Percy Jackson is based off of Greek mythology and stuff, but like it was an entire universe that like you were absorbed in.
Yeah.
And like every time a book dropped, it was like, oh.
No, like there used to be, like I used to read like Harriet the Spy.
Yeah.
I used to read the Babysitter Little Sister books, which was like starring like Karen, which I know is ironic now because everyone's like a Karen. And they would just go through all these things. And it was funny because when I was reading those books, those kids were doing all the same shit as me. Like they were like a detective agency, or like we had this like, I think you would call it a shrub or a bush in the back of Bridal Veil. So it would like be covered in flowers, but you could go underneath it and there was like nothing under it
Oh.
because it was almost like a willow tree, but like smaller. And I would like take a chair under there and I would just like color. Like it was like my fort without making a fort.
Even making forts. Like, I don't know. We went down for someone's wedding a few years ago, and we stayed with Sarah's friend who has 2 daughters. And I remember like they were like, "Oh, we want to build a fort." And I was like, "Hold the phone. Where's the linen closet?"
Yeah.
And I remember they were like, "Oh, like we should ask my mom if we could move the furniture." I went, "No, no, no."
The funny thing is their mom does not care about that.
Oh yeah, like it's not like she's like, "Oh, how dare you." They were like, "We should ask." I'm like, "No, no, no. We are decking this out. Do you have zap straps? Do we have bungee cords?" And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "We're picking up the couch. We're moving everything around."
Oh yeah.
And that wasn't like going above and beyond. That was the basics. Like when you're a kid, you're like, "Okay, this couch, I'm going to flip it on its side. This is now a fort."
Right? Like there's so many different things. There's many a times where I come upstairs to my house and there is a fort or something made out of cardboard.
I will state, I am very happy that your child is kind of out of the tripping trap zone. I ate it so many times.
Oh, your house? My God, I know she loved to like, and she always used ribbon.
Or she would use like
I'm glad she's out of her Zapstrap phase. I'd find like shit Zapstrap together.
the
I'd be
like
like, what the fuck is this? I need this stapler.
or tape.
Oh, the tape. The tape was always a big thing. But that's the whole thing is I bought all that stuff at like the dollar store.
Oh no,
And
I
she
didn't
would,
care.
like, she'd have like a full fucking story. She still sets up traps for her dad, which is so funny because I let my husband out. I'm pretty sure he doesn't look down when he's walking.
I'm already off balance.
But even just like being able to like make random things, like our mom always talks about the weird shit she used to make as a kid, and our grandpa would just like choke it down. But even like, I remember one day I was like, Crystal's mom was like, "Oh, we're out of bread." And I was just like, "Oh, this is such a throwback." And I think it was only in Canada, but there was this show called Beekman's World. And I was like, I think I remember everything. And I remember trying to like make bread and I didn't use wheat. I basically made like soda bread, but we just shoved a bunch of shit together and then cooked it in the oven until it was like solid and then attempted to eat it. It was terrible, but we had so much fun.
I feel like kids these days don't like cook.
My kid loves to like help. Like last night, I had a bunch of stuff I was making like peanut like recipe noodles, and I was like cooking the sauce so it wasn't as watery, and then I was gonna add the noodles in, and I'd cut up some like fresh vegetables on the side. And my kid comes in, she's like, "Can I cut some stuff up?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." But she goes to a before and after school program where they like, as soon as you're like older, as soon as they know that you're like coordinated, they will let you help them make the food, help them make the snacks, all the other stuff, and like do all those things with them. But she'll like come in and just start cutting stuff up. Like I got her to cut the pork chops up last night. And she took a bite. She's like, "Oh my God, I love this." And she was like eating it. But she was so proud of herself that she cut it all up. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like it was like we went from parents being like, come home when the lights go out, when the street lights come on
Mhm.
and it's dark outside, to like, I'll never give my kid a knife until they're 12 years old because what if they cut themselves?
What if they cut themselves? Then you learn very quickly.
Right?
I got a toaster from our aunt and uncle. This throwback from the Greyhound bus station where you used to receive parcels. It doesn't even exist anymore. And I remember our aunt called me and was like, I just sent your birthday present. I'm like, oh, okay. And I had this urge to learn how to make toast with a fried egg. And I used it every single day and I made toast for everybody. Literally thought that I was the best. Like, I was 6. I thought I was the
Oh my
best
God.
person ever. I made toast for everybody in the house, put different toppings on it. You would have thought that I was a culinary, like, prodigy.
You were a culinary chef. Like when we brought home different breads, you were
Wow.
like, here I go.
This is my time.
It was the best thing because it was like so cute because you would just put like whatever on it, or you would just try different things. Or I remember just like mixing random shit into like mac and cheese.
Oh, I remember, I think you were living in like the lower mainland.
Yeah.
Peach and I, our sibling and I, we, for Mother's Day, I think it was. Mother's Day or Father's Day. Our mom really, like, both of them really wanted quiche.
Oh yeah.
And so I never made quiche before, and I think I was like 16. I was 15 or 16.
Yeah.
Never made quiche before. And so I didn't know. I didn't even follow the recipe. I made like the pastry. We ate the pastry, it looked all great. And then we were making the fillings, and I didn't know how much bacon you were supposed to put in. So I put an entire pack of bacon in one quiche.
Like a sheet pan quiche or like a pie?
Like a pie. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we ran out of bacon. We got to make another one. And so our brain sat down and we were like, hot dogs and mustard
Oh my God.
in a quiche. I will state, it was delicious. And it was like, I remember her dad walked in and was like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, we have the normal quiche, which like mom really liked. And her dad was like, this is the best quiche. And it was so random. Like, back in my day, if I made something and I was like, oh no, we don't have something, you know that I'll either try to learn how to make it in that very moment in time, or like we're switching it up and there's something random.
Oh my God, when I saw that for the first time, like this is like such a 90s kid example. There was this sleepover movie, again with Mary-Kate and Ashley. They were a vibe, okay? And they would order a large cheese pizza. And it was this whole song where they like ordered a large cheese pizza, but then everybody brought toppings. And they put all this random shit like gummy worms, like all this random shit on top of the pizza. And it was a whole song. And then the kids would sit and like eat it. Like, did they actually eat it? Probably not. But like, we would do all that shit. Like, you would go to the store and like buy a bunch of junk food and have like a sleepover with your friend and like maybe eat a quarter of the junk food and then just like hang out and do like quizzes from like YM magazine or like make friendship bracelets or I don't know. When I was really little, play with my grand champions. I loved those things.
I always found it so, like, I grew up having sleepovers. I had like 2 friends, and like we would have sleepovers and like we'd switch to each person's house. Yeah. And I know people now are like, my kid's never gonna have a sleepover.
Because you can't fucking trust people now.
Which honestly, like, not like kind of made me sad because I remember like I pulled out my old journals from when I was, I think, 13, and me and my 2 friends, we wrote out who we thought each other would marry.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
One of them's married now and has 2 kids. And the like list that was on there does not match the person at all.
Of course.
And mine, I'm not even married. I haven't even been on a date. But I read it and I was like, man, girl really hasn't changed. Like, it literally says, athletic and enjoys to learn other sports. I was like, yeah, totally into that. Some musical aspect, funny.
Yeah.
Brown hair.
Yeah.
Preferably brown eyes. My description was like me, but more outgoing because I don't like to leave the house. And I was like, wow. Like 13-year-old Eve really knew.
Yeah, which is totally fine. Like, even just like, do you remember just getting like white t-shirts and just painting them with fabric paint?
I never did that. Like, I didn't tie-dye a shirt until I was 18.
No, this isn't tie-dye. Like, we would buy like puff paint or like fabric paint and like decorate shirts. And then wear them. Like, they were the coolest fucking thing you'd ever seen.
I don't think I ever did that.
I also used to, like, obviously, like, friendship bracelets were, like, a huge thing, or, like, those key rings, like, where you would make, like, the lizard.
Oh, like when you would bring all the. I used to love when you would have like a project in school, which I hear no kids don't do it. This was like when I had a project in school. If I had an opportunity to be creative and like do something really cool, me and popsicle sticks with hot glue, best friends.
Oh, yeah.
Like I built an entire Jaded Han dynasty out of popsicle sticks, and then like made this concoction to make it look like jade. It was like, I was like, this is my time. And I find like now that I don't need to make, historical buildings out of things, that I'm like, oh, like, you know what? I could totally do this. Like when you were making your kids' dollhouse.
Oh, yeah.
I remember like Sarah's like, this is like, I'm going to do this for my child. And it was getting closer and closer to Christmas. And she sent me a text that just said, I can't finish it. And I was like, this is my time.
And it was so much fun. Like, we had so much fun just sitting and doing it. And it was like nothing needed to be perfect. We were just like having fun with it and putting stuff in there and like taking something and like adding things like for the under the stairs for the dollhouse. I added a room because Harry Potter. And that's fun. And that's another place to hide things. Like, even just going through and painting those things. And it wasn't like I was making it into. It was all sparked because Gabby's dollhouse had come out. My kid was little. And there was nothing that you could get for Gabby's dollhouse until like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And she was just like, oh, I love it. So I bought the characters and then took the childhood dollhouse and then made it into something that she would like versus like Gabby's dollhouse type of thing.
I just remembered, like, I know people now will like make their own clothes. Making Barbie clothes or like making your own stuffed animal.
Oh my God, no. I was the queen of making scrunchies. I love making scrunchies. Or like I made so many random purses with no patterns. Like bags all the time.
My Cinderella bag.
Oh my God. I remember like mapping it out and like making this camo messenger bag and severely overestimating how long the strap needed to be. Like severely. Like to the point where I was like, I really wanted to hang at my hip. And I don't know how I measured it. It was like I had to tie it at the top. I think eventually I cut it and then sewed it. But like I made an entire bag out of canvas with no pattern because I couldn't find a messenger bag that I liked.
Like, and our mom was always like very like, our dad was like woodsy, like woodworking, very like outside crafty, and our mom was always like, any like craft room, like we've always had some form of sewing area, and she was never like, oh, you're not allowed to touch any of my fabric. But even like making dresses, like I understand fabric's quite expensive now, and like we don't have any local fabric stores anymore. But people are like, oh my God, I want a dress that fits like this, but I can never find anything that fits me right. Or like getting like custom made dresses. And I'm like, I've always thought since I was younger, I have had a plan of what my wedding dress will be like. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to make my own.
I would not be surprised.
Because I am already nitpicky, and you want to put me in well, I'm not nitpicky, but like you won't put me in a white dress that I have to stare at myself in a mirror. That quite literally sounds like hell.
Like, I was never that kid who was like, I'm going to wear this dress. This is the kind of wedding I'm going to have when I grow up. I'm going to have all these things. Like, I wasn't that girl. I had a lot of friends who were like, that used to be like a project at school where you would sit and like plan out, like even our mom did it when she was in school. It would be like, if you got married, like this is your budget. Sometimes you would like pull what your significant other did out of the hat. My significant other was always Nick for the Backstreet Boys. I didn't care what the role was. It was always a picture of him. Like how many kids you would have, and like you would cut stuff out of magazines, like, and stare everything together and be like, oh yeah, this is my whole thing. And it was like a whole like idea of stuff. And I feel like it was, a lot of people now are like, that's a fucking vision board. And I was like, yeah, but it was more like plan out your life and like figure out. And we had this really great teacher, and he was just like, just to let you know, like the price of the following is actually this. So it was like the game of life, but then he would give you like very nicely tell you like realistic things.
But I turn on, like there was quite a few times this past week, I'll like open up TikTok and I was just like, oh, like it was just sad. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go do this and I'm going to go do this. And I want to feel like, I want to feel better. Like, I like to journal. I like to do this. Or, I found the case of like Just Dance. Like, I remember like changing around rooms.
Oh my God, that was like my favorite thing in the whole entire world. Like when you see those people talk about like when your friend's over till 2 a.m. or your sister's hanging out or you're just like your mom walks in your room when you're 13 and it was like nobody had to worry about me doing drugs. I was just moving my room around.
I remember when your husband went to a bachelor's trip.
Yeah.
For like a week. And this is how we unlocked. This was like 5 years ago.
It was a while ago. Charlie was very little.
Dad was still alive, so it was a
Yeah.
and I remember we walked in and Sarah was like, I'm just so annoyed. Like she had just gotten this new bed. She got a new headboard and stuff like that. And she goes, but I haven't, like the headboard was in the hallway. She's like, nothing feels like it fits properly. And I was like, she's like, the bed's huge. And I was like, I think we could move it. She's like, well, should we? And I'm like, well, it's not like he can say no. He's not here. I remember it didn't take us that long.
No.
And we like fully got it changed over. And then we got really interesting. So then we moved the living room around.
Oh, yeah.
And your husband came home late. And he went to go jump on the bed. And he was like, where's the bed? But it was just so like, okay, you want to do it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
But that's the whole thing is like, that's like what our family's like though. Is it's like, you want to do it? Okay, let's do it. Which is so funny because like we can do that when it comes to like stuff like that together. But sometimes when I go to do something, I'll think of all the things I want to do and then I can't figure out the right thing and then I just sit there and like freeze. Versus like when I was a kid where I'd be like, oh, I want to write the story for 2 pages and then be like, okay, I'll just leave this for later and then go do something else.
Yeah.
I don't remember watching like an excessive amount of TV when I was a kid. I listened to a lot of music. There was a lot of waiting on the radio for like the new song from like a band come on and then hitting the fucking record button at the right time with a blank tape.
Every time it was like, oh, this is like what you're doing next. And like, it was never like you had your job of going to school.
Yeah.
And I love when people are like, oh, well, I just feel like you just never have anything to do. Like, you have to make all of these jobs and stuff like that. And, like, you have your job, like, 9 to 5, 8 to 4, or whatever. But, like, school was 8 to 3:30.
I know.
Like, it wasn't like you became an adult and magically, like, you didn't have a large majority thing that you had to do.
It's like people talk like school was 2.5, 3 hours a day. And then as soon as you got a job, it sucked your whole life away. Like, it was so...
Yeah. I always thought that was weird. And I was like, well, and then you come home and people are like, oh, you come home and like you have to do this, this, this. And like my number one statement I say to Sarah and our mom is when they're like, oh, well, I didn't get all my cleaning done. I'm like, okay, well, did you live? Well, you're obviously talking to me, so you're breathing.
Yeah.
And it's like that concept of like, well, I need everything like constantly clean.
Busy work.
And I'm like,
it's like you can't sit down, you can't enjoy things. It's like something that I think I talked about it before, either with you or on the podcast, where it was because a lot of the mentality, even coming from like jobs or school and stuff, is people would say to like me, for example, the classic line would be like, if you can lean, you can clean. Like rest wasn't okay. And even like understanding it, people even talk about this like with like jobs.
mm-hmm.
Like there's people who will literally work the full 8.5 hours. And there's other people who will work, but like still like take rest, but not like work like a maniac for like that long. And it's almost like the people who are like kind of like fluctuating their time, they're still getting stuff done, but they're almost seen as lazy versus the people who are giving like 110%. It's like the big machine comment, right?
And it's always like interested me because whenever I hear the statement of like, oh, I don't have time, I'm like, well, like people always bring hobbies in when they're burnt out or they're like, I need a release. And I'm like, well, that sounded dirty.
It's so funny. You thought dirty and I thought fart.
I need a release or something like that. And it's always like something new.
Yeah, like I need to, in order to give my brain a break, I must assign it a new task.
And I'm like,
you could just do it.
You could just do it, but also like, there's people who are like, oh, well, I love, like, there was this big trend of, like, book talk of, like, how can you read 200 books if you're better, like, you don't have a full-time job.
Oh, yeah, you're
read
not
200
working
books.
harder. Even though you listen to 200 books, it's on audio. Like, you could have been doing something else at the same time, so it's not the same.
But it's like, what I always see is, like, you read 200 books in a year, oh, you don't have a full-time job. And I'm like, well, if we broke down the amount of time that you spent doing these other things.
Especially if you read that much, you read faster than, like, the average person.
But even if you, like, I get home, say, at 4:30, 4:40.
Yeah.
Have dinner at 6:30. There's 2 hours in between that.
Yeah, I know. It's that whole, like, time perspective. Like, we talk about it all the time. How everybody seems to think that there's more time in the summertime than there is in the wintertime just because of the amount of natural light that's outside. But you literally always have an average of 12 to 16 hours a day to do something. And that never changes. We don't have 12 hours in the winter and then 24 full hours in the summertime. We always have the same amount of time. But somehow it's like a perspective of, oh, now I have all this extra time to relax or all these other things. And I'm like, what? Like, that's the funny thing is, like, catching yourself when you do it too. And you're like, oh.
Like, it doesn't matter if it's dark or light. You can still do, like, I see other people that are like, oh, it's getting darker outside, so I've decided I'm going to start doing this hobby. And I'm like,
Why?
you can do that hobby in the dark. You can do it in the light. Just buy a lamp.
Or, like, my husband and I were watching a movie.
Mhm.
And I was sitting there watching the movie. And instead of, like, doing the classic, like, I try to put my phone down when I watch movies now because I'm like, there's no point in me being on my phone unless the movie's really bad and my husband wants to keep watching it. But, like, I was like, maybe I'll color. And it's like multitask. Like, I'm still, like, hanging out, but I'm, like, coloring.
But also, it's like,
It's totally different than just, like, sitting there, like, on your phone. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you can do things at the same time.
like, is that why I never understood, like, people will go to the theater.
Yeah.
I don't go to the theater that often. But they buy popcorn and stuff like that. They sit there for 3 hours and are immersed in this movie.
Yeah.
But if you watch it at home, people are like, oh, let me scroll on my phone. Let me do this. Let me do this. I'm like,
I'm the worst for when I'm at home for looking up people in the movie. If I know who they are and I want to verify that I'm right, or if I recognize them and I'm trying to remember what movie they're from, if I'm at home, I'll pull up my phone. But if I'm at the movie theaters, I'll be like, oh, that doesn't fucking matter right now. Like, don't be a dick. It's
exactly.
where my brain goes.
Why does it change so much of, like, oh, when I'm at home, like, our mom and I, we love to, like, we like to pick different shows and, like, we'll watch, like, the seasons together. So we'll watch a couple episodes each night. And so we'll watch it, and there's just an unspoken rule that we watch it together and that we don't watch other episodes without each other.
Yeah.
And we watch it, and, like, sometimes you're really well immersed, or if I really don't like it, like, I have hobbies beside me that I can do. Like, there's certain shows that I would watch. Like, the OC, I cross-stitched every single time I got bored.
Yeah.
Or I would crochet or do this, like, if I needed to do something else. But I'm like, I find if I turn out all the lights and we're watching a show, I can pay attention more.
It's like movie theater mode.
I know. And I'm not like, oh, well, I need to do this. Well, I need to do this. I'm like, oh, this is so entertaining. And like, she does it too. It'll be like, oh, we'll just watch one more episode. And I'm like, no, we can, like, keep watching tomorrow. Like, we'll watch later if there's not a show.
Oh, Eve has to cut me off because our mom and I have the same thing where we're like, just one more. And then we're up to like 3 a.m. watching something.
Which, like, those types of shows, like, we could watch a couple episodes and, like, save a couple episodes. And it's not like,
I know this sounds really funny. This is the best way I can say this. Sometimes I watch an episode of shows like School Spirits and I feel full and I don't need to watch anymore.
thank you.
Like, I'll be like, wow, there was a lot unpacked in that episode. You know what? I'm going to wait to watch the next one.
Thank you. I find some shows I watch, I'm like either there's one or two ways. There's the shows that have, like, zero plot, but they're just forcing them. Like, we were talking about shows that have 30 episodes versus shows that have 8 episodes.
Oh my God.
Like, Ted Lasso, which I recently started watching, it has 10 episodes per season. Season 1 ended.
Yeah.
I felt so content.
Right?
So, like, we're in the second season. Great. Some shows I watch, they'll have 23 episodes, and I'm like, or they'll have 8 episodes, and there's like 3 filler episodes. I'm like, you don't have time for filler.
I also feel like a lot of new shows, people will be like, you need to watch a couple episodes to get into it. So you're like constantly chasing if you're trying to watch a show and like it. Like, what was that stupid TV show everybody was obsessed with last year?
We Are Liars.
We Are Liars. Horrible. That was one of the worst shows I've ever seen. I didn't even get to the end. I was like, this show is not getting any better.
I didn't watch it full. I did my TikTok watch.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, I'm over this show type of thing.
I feel like when you would sit down and be like, oh, this show's on at 3:30, and it would be like, that's like your routine.
Yeah.
Now it's like, you don't have an episode. Grey's Anatomy wasn't on last night.
Yeah, what the fuck? I checked your PVR. But that's the whole thing is like, I feel like because we had assigned times, so I don't know if that's because of, like, that was because of the times or because, like, ADHDers actually thrive on schedules, but we hate them and reject them all at the same time. It's very complicated.
We hate making schedules, but we love when they're assigned to us.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, I knew that every day or every Sunday at 7 o'clock, I would watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, The Simpsons, and then Married with Children.
Mhm.
Done. Like, so I knew if I wanted to watch those and I had conveniently forgotten about my homework, I needed to get my homework done before 7 p.m. Like, I had like that like panic deadline thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, you feel like if you're doing something for fun and it's not an assignment that you'll just, I mean, at least for me, I'll like chronically put it off because I'll be like, well, I should do laundry. Well, I should clean some dishes, or, well, I should make this food. And it's just like, it's not seen as like something that you feel that you can justify needing because it's not producing an outcome of something that makes you like productive, equalizing your time and not like prioritizing things over like just think you're allowed to have fun. Yes.
I want to, my hope of 2026 is that I actually remember to record some of these things, like film them.
Oh,
I am the queen of doing it and then getting a text message from Sarah going, did you record it? And I go, oh.
just because I think it's I don't know why, but like if I record me doing something that's like a hobby sometimes, it stops me from like getting distracted. Like I see it as, it's just bad because I'm just saying I see it as a task, but like sharing things that other people may not think of doing, because there's skills that even I have that our parents taught us how to do that so many people are like, oh my God, like how'd you learn how to do that? I don't know, I just do it.
Or like my parents taught me how to do it once. Or like I'm the worst at saying, well, I just didn't think other people would be interested in knowing
Yeah.
the different things I do. Like I'll just do them.
I know. And there's like so many people out there, like maybe you'll spark that person who wants to do polymer clay or color or whatever, and doesn't see it as like a silly thing to do. And yeah, like maybe make like a mini list of like 3 to 5 hobbies that you want to try and get the stuff from like a low cost place. Like you don't need to like, or from the thrift store or the dollar store. Like you don't need to like go to Michael's and invest like $50 to $100 in something.
Or go ask your friends who have done it and be like, do you have an extra crochet hook and a small ball of yarn that I can try?
Or do it with your friends.
Yeah.
Like make that like a fun activity. Like, or think of something that you really loved doing when you were younger. Like sit back and like really think about it. And like if it brought you joy and productivity, like do not lie to yourself and say that organizing your closet brings you joy.
Hey. I will say, and like, I love majority of hobbies. I do not like diamond arts.
Oh, I can only do small ones. I don't know how my friend does those giant ones.
I do not. I can do a paint by numbers. I love a good like cross stitch, but like diamond art painting to me is a no-go.
Yeah, I can only do like little like those keychains and stuff like that we've lost bar. Other than that, like I feel like I would get annoyed. Also, like the back hunch is real when it comes to it.
Yeah.
Find things that I don't know, find things that are just fun. Like just dick around. Like you don't have to be perfect at something. You don't have to be a complete perfectionist when it comes to stuff, which is like something that I'm just chronically trying to unlearn.
Productivity and monetizing does not equal fun.
Yeah, no.
It was the side hustle culture that people always say, oh, well, I'm doing this because it's my new side hustle.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Just do it because it's fun, or do it because you want to take time out of your day to do something other than work, cook, clean, and all that other shit.
And bathe yourself. Please shower.
Please shower. Thank you. Thank you.
If you have any interesting nostalgic hobbies that you did as a kid or hyperfixations, please let us know. You can email us.
Yeah.
We do have an email.
Yes, you do.
We do have a TikTok. We do have a Pinterest. We do have Facebook. We do have an Instagram. We'll state, I go in spurts on threads of randomly remembering that it exists. And then
I still don't get it, but I definitely check the Instagram comments and the YouTube comments and stuff like that. Please feel free to do that below. We're Burnt Out Perfectionist on most platforms, or Burnt Out Perfectionists with an S, if that was not available.
Or we're Burnt Out Perfectionist Pod.
Yep.
Which one of these days I'll remember to collaborate all of them into one, but
But you know what? That's what it is. It's all in our link tree that you can see below. And don't forget to stay as warped and twisted as ever.
peace.
Burnt out perfection.